Hi everybody, Dr. Carrillo here, straightening out her hair because she sees herself in a video. Um, so in this video, I'm going to start with something light and informal, but then I have very serious things to share with you. So make sure you follow all of this video. Sometimes I will post videos with really important announcements and information, updates, sometimes even a surprise lecture that you need. So make sure that you are watching any videos that I post. I promise not to overload you with videos. You might get 1 or 2 a week. If there's more, then the additional videos will be super short. This one's going to be maybe about 15 or 20 minutes. I'm thinking more like 15 minutes, so keep that in mind. But first, I'm going to start with something informal, and then like I said, I'm going to talk about something serious, and that is plagiarism, academic honesty, integrity, and a change that I am making to the discussion board requirements and protocol. So with that said, let's start on an informal note. Now, why am I going to start with an informal note or like an informal, segment with respect to this video? The reason is that in looking at your introductory letters or your introductory videos, I learned a lot about you guys. And one of the things that I learned for some of you is that you really liked it when the instructor or teacher kind of opened up, shared past experiences, talked about the real world or whatnot. And so I've decided that I'm going to try to remember to open up in a more personal, social way and then segue into the more serious stuff. So I'm going to try to remember to always use a prop. So my introductory video, at the beginning of the semester, I used my regalia, I'm looking that way, my doctoral robe and my doctoral hat. Today, I'm using this mug. So it might be hard to see, but, actually, I think I can get it in there. You see where it says U.S. Army, wife. Okay, so based on this information, the fact that this says U.S. Army, wife, we're going to practice our skills of inference. Okay, what information do we have right now? Dr. C is holding a mug that says wife, and it also says U.S. Army. So those are facts. That's what we know, that Dr. C is holding that. What might you infer about me? Okay, well, I'm a wife. I am. So what might you infer about my husband, that he's in the what? The Army. So there's a little interesting factoid. My husband, I think I mentioned that he was my boyfriend back in the 80s at J.L. Long. Maybe I didn't. He was my first boyfriend. Then we broke up, and but it was puppy love. It didn't really count. And then he found me 30 years later in Facebook. We have been together for 5 years now, and that whole time he was in the Army. He's been in the Army for 31 years. He's in the reserves. He's been in the Guard. He's been active duty. He's been deployed to the Middle East 4 times, 2 times combat. He's trying to retire, but he's still a reservist. And so he has weekend drills once a month and then 2 weeks of annual training. He is a master sergeant, technically speaking. He's classified as something called E8, but he's functioning as a first sergeant for a medical unit known as 68 Whiskey. So that's your ground ambulance support. So for example, let's say some reservists in the Army who are also engineers are going to Central America to build a school. They might send a batch of his soldiers along with military ambulances to provide medical ambulatory support for the engineers in case they injured themselves. And so then he's the first sergeant. He makes sure that everybody is doing their job, that all the equipment goes to Central America, that they have everything that they need, that his soldiers have everything that they need, and that they're ready to go. So a lot of his soldiers are medical workers. They're nurses, they're paramedics, stuff like that. Okay, so there's something interesting about me, a little bit more information. I'm glad he's almost retiring. I don't think I could have been a military wife during all those deployments. So what I want to talk about now is a change that I've made to the discussion board protocol. I am going to create a separate video that shows you how to update the course schedule. There's not going to be a lot of updates, so I promise there's not going to be this huge redoing of the schedule. We're just going to have to change it in about 5 spaces, but it's not going to be radical. I promise to make it easy and simple, but in this video, I just want to stress the importance of, academic honesty, not plagiarizing intentionally or unintentionally. And I want to call your attention to an update that I provided with respect to the discussion boards. I need you to make sure that you carefully read it. So this new update is posted in the week 2 folder. Some of you have seen this already. It's a change that I've made to step 3, and you can see that it says new discussion board protocol. You guys need to make sure you have read this if you have not yet read this. So go to week 2, click on the step 3 folder, and read the new requirements for accessing the discussion board. In a nutshell, what you're going to do for week 2, for example, is you're going to prepare to participate in a discussion board. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to do step 3A, you learn about the topic, you write your response, and then you are going to submit your response not to a discussion board during week 2. You're going to submit it to SafeAssign, which is a plagiarism checker. This ensures that your discussion board is original to you and that you've used all that you've learned about not plagiarizing, citing your sources, using quotation marks if you quote somebody, and whatnot. So again, I'm not going to read this to you. I want you to read all of this, okay? And then if you have any questions after reading all of this, then you can email me, text me questions, and whatnot. But for week 2, the gist is you're going to get the topic, and then you're not going to see a discussion board link after all. You're going to see an assignment submission link here. Then provided your submission meets my requirements for academic honesty, you haven't plagiarized intentionally or not, then, let me turn this around, then during week 3, you'll get access to a discussion board, and it will have your response in it. I'm going to create the response thread for you in that discussion board, but you're not going to see it till week 3. This is all explained in that new information I posted that I told you to read on your own. Now, I'm not doing this to be mean. I really didn't want to do this. I wanted you to just go straight into the discussion board and post your response, but I recently had like 6 cases of plagiarism, and that's just too much. I think people are just too tempted to do it, and we really don't want to do that. I mean, think about this. This is an ethics class, right? You're supposed to choose the right course of action, not be tempted to give in to evil or doing wrong. And some people think that cheating or plagiarizing isn't wrong, but think about it. Let's say you're a Christian and you believe you should not lie, thou should not lie. Well, if you cheat and you submit something that's not truly your own, aren't you lying? Aren't you saying in your submission, this is mine, I wrote this according to your expectations? Yes, it's a kind of lying. So my argument is to anybody who's a Christian that cheating is a lie, is lying, and lying is in the 10 Commandments. It says, thou shalt not lie. Therefore, it would be unholy. Okay, so I know not everybody is a Christian and believes in the 10 Commandments, but you get the general point. If you're in an ethics class, it's even more absurd to cheat or plagiarize because it's all about learning about the right and the good and acting as such. Oh, one thing, I'm going to introduce you to my son and to my grandchild. This is not a live recording, just so you know, but I'm letting my students get to know me, so hold on. I'm coming back. Don't disappear. Oh, here. Come say hi. Addie. So this is my son, Michael.
Hello.
And this is my granddaughter, Addie.
Say hi.
Addie. She's not going to look. Okay, all right. Okay, so you guys know that I tried to keep it a little bit informal and fun. But, hey, that said, I can be spontaneous and goofy like some of you describe yourselves. What I said about, what I've just said about the discussion boards, the new protocol, now you're going to have to first submit to a SafeAssign link. I have to verify that your response is original. That all stands. Everything that I said about the ethics of cheating and lying and all that stuff, that all stands. Just keep all of that in mind and know that you will have access to the first discussion board, what we're going to call DB1. You'll now have access to that link during week 3, but only if your submission to the topic for week 2, step 3, gets a pass. Okay, so go and read that information. I'm going to create a separate video where I show you how to update the course schedule, but that will not be posted till sometime Wednesday 2/10, probably in the afternoon. Wait to watch that video, and then if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Okay, bye. All right, sorry about that. I had to get that video out real quick.